Starting on our mats, we're going to come into the hands and knees position with the knees right underneath the hips and the hands right underneath the shoulders. Inhale and lift your chest. Exhale and round, a little cat and cow, following your breath. If doing cow causes any sort of discomfort in the low back, go ahead and just soften your extension there, intuitively following what your body needs today. Finishing up with our last cat and cow here, we'll find a neutral, doing some scapular push-ups, allowing the shoulder blades to spread apart and then dip together toward the spine. Notice that your elbow creases should be staying forward while you do this and not bending or rotating at all. And pay attention that you're not holding any tension in the neck, trying to jut it forward to do the movement. Just a few more, bringing the shoulder blades together and apart, together and apart. Last one. Finding a neutral position here now with the shoulder blades and the spine. We're going to extend the right arm out and the left leg out, lifting them up to about shoulder and hip height. It's nice to have the thumb facing up toward the ceiling here. It's a good rotation for the shoulder. While switching from side to side, take notice of your core engagement as well, especially with the lower abdominals, making sure they're pulled in and protecting that low back and pelvis. For breath, if you like to know, inhale on the up, and we exhale as we lower. Next time we extend the right arm and right leg, we're going to go ahead and pulse just the arm for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1 we hold it up and slowly lower it down. Switching sides, right leg extends, left arm now. Re-engage the low abs, extend that left arm and up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, hold it up and then slowly lower it down. Let's sit back into a wide-legged child's pose, allowing your upper body to relax over the legs, extending the arms forward, and if you'd like an extra shoulder stretch, tent up the fingertips. This can feel nice, but it can also feel uncomfortable, so feel free to just rest here. Allowing your breath to be natural, and maybe slowing it down if you can. Slowly coming back up onto the hands and knees, wiggle a little bit. We'll tuck our toes, lift our hips up, coming into a sort of downward dog as we just walk those hands back to our feet, hanging our upper body with softened knees, nodding the head, no and yes. And then bringing your hands behind the legs, coming up halfway with a flat back, and then exhale as you lower down. Again, inhale, coming up halfway, flat back. Exhale down. And now reaching your arms out to the side, slowly coming up with a flat back. Reaching the arms up, stretching out, and relaxing here. Taking a moment just to shake it out. Maybe adding some shoulder rolls or any other stretches you might need to continue. Reaching your arms up, and I know you can't see my hands, but thumbs are facing the back wall, and doing some gentle pulses with just the arms going back without extending the chest forward. All right, keeping the low abdominals engaged as well. And now we'll interlace the hands, palms face up, and reach those elbow creases like they're trying to rotate to the back wall. Stretching here. If you want a little bit of a back bend, you can. Breathing. And slowly melt all the way down, hanging over the legs. Just a gentle bend and straighten of the legs here, or any other movements you like in your forward fold. And we'll walk it out into a plank position. And we're doing an inchworm, so we're going to also walk it back, walking your hands to your feet, and then slowly rolling all the way up, dropping the chin to the chest, and making our way back down into that plank. Make sure you're really activating the core when you hit that full plank, and then slowly rolling it up. Let's do 3 more. Fingertips spread wide when you hit that plank. really articulating through the spine on the way down. This is our last inchworm, walking our hands out into that plank, hands right underneath our shoulders, trying to make that level line, abs engaged, holding our plank. Gentle rock forward and back if it feels good to do so. While in the plank position, we're going to bend the knees, just tap the floor, and then bring the knees back to extension. This will activate the low abs. You should be feeling it, especially if they're active. And taking a break back into that downward dog, moving any way that feels good in this moment. So just here for a few more breaths. This could look like you extending legs if you want to. I'm about to do some shoulder shrugs. This is something that I do for handstand prep. Lowering the knees down to the floor. Again, finding that wide-legged child's pose, resting here, adding the optional tented fingers if it's something you like to do. And let's walk our hands over to the right side and just really lean into the armpit on the left side. It also helps on the inhale to try to think of that left rib cage as expanding. Now walking over to the left side and opening into that right armpit area. Again, breathing deeply, feeling expansion in that right rib cage. Let's come back onto our hands and knees. Getting settled in this hands and knee position, bring your left hand to the back of the head, bring the elbow to the opposite elbow, and then twist to open toward the ceiling. Now here we're twisting just the upper body and keeping the lower body stable. We do this by keeping that lower core engaged. Now adding an arm extension if it feels good to do so. Opening all the way up to the ceiling. Next time we do this, we're going to extend the arm out and then thread through in a thread the needle pose. And here I've just changed my position so you can see a little bit better. Let's keep the hips square as we do this. Again, just breathing into the space in the back. Slowly press yourself up to your hands and knees again. Let's bring the right hand to the back of the head and elbow to elbow, twisting into that upper spine. Twisting for 3, 2, this last one like this, and here we go to extend the arm up. Reminder that we're only twisting the upper body here, so check in on those hips. On this next one, we'll extend through and come into that thread the needle with the optional extension of that top arm and tenting into those fingertips for an added shoulder opener on that other arm. We'll be here for a few more deep breaths. Slowly drawing ourselves back up, and now onto our bellies. From here, we're going to go right into a Sphinx pose, getting the elbows close into the body and wrists in line with where the elbows are placed. Let's tuck our tail, activating the lower core, and then extend our heart through while pulling back on the arms to create a little bit of traction here. Then we're going to take a break, doing any restorative movement here. I'm doing a windshield wiper, just bending my knees and going side to side. Coming into a baby cobra. So activating the spine and then lifting up just with the strength of the back right now and down. A few more like that. Inhale, lifting. And just check in with that lower abdominals. Can you press your pubic bone into the mat a little bit more? Which is a funny way of saying just activate your abs. Last 2. Okay, on this next one, we're going to extend our arms forward. Bring your feet in a little bit closer. Press the pubic bone down into the mat. Thumbs up toward the ceiling as we lift left arm and right leg. Forehead staying down right now. We lift opposite side. As we rise the arm, try to imagine the arm staying as close to your face as you can. Maybe even imagine brushing your elbow against your head. This will stop you from bending the arm. Keep going, switching and alternating from sides. On this next one, we're going to lift both arms, both legs. Inhale as you rise and relax. Exhale. Again, prepping, lifting up and lowering. And 4, lowering down, rising again for 3, 2, final one here. We're going to stay up and paddle both the arms and legs. We're land swimming. Really imperative here to keep that pubic bone pressing into the mat, increasing the likelihood that you're not stressing out that lumbar or lower spine. You got this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up and relax. Now let's bring our arms in a goalpost formation, doing a little bit more shoulder mobility work here. Trying to lift your arms straight up as best you can. This is a work in progress for me, something I'm working on. Trying to keep the wrist in line with the elbows. To help feel that sensation, keep the elbows down and just lift the wrists. And now reverse, keeping the hands down and lifting the elbows. And now with that in mind, try this again and notice the differences. Maybe it's a little smaller. Rising up the arms, let's do some pulses back, trying to get those wrists to touch the ceiling. You can also lift your chest up and see if that changes the mobility. Just a couple more. And relax. From here, we're going to go into stretching. So goalpost arm or extending the arm. Extending the arm is going to be a little bit easier on the shoulder. The goalpost arm is a little more intense, as this is stretching a very tight area for where we are in humanity. So we're stretching that pectoral or chest area right next to the armpit. Deep breaths are recommended, and please don't do anything that doesn't feel good to you. Things we don't want to feel are tingling or shooting pains. It's an indication that you've maybe gone beyond your mobility today. Focusing here on a slow, even breath. Let's start to make our way out of this pose and be gentle with yourself, maybe even massage the area. Making our way now to the other side, either goalpost or extended arm, as we stretch into our chest. You also can take your top arm and bring it behind your back for a different kind of shoulder opener on that opposite arm. If this does not feel good, you just keep that arm right in front of you, supporting you. Remembering to slow our breaths down, be a little more intentional during stretching. Let's slowly make our way out of this stretch, taking as much time as you need, wiggling anything, massaging. Coming up now onto our hands and knees and into a child's pose. Extending the arms, going into that deeper shoulder stretch if you like, or allowing your arms to round around the rest of the body. Making your way to any sort of seat that you like, maybe rolling your shoulders or making any adjustments that feel necessary. Then let's go into a neck stretch where we're going to open the front of the neck. If this does not feel good, please feel free to do some neck rolls and circles. Slowly draw your head back to center. Now let's drop our left ear to our left shoulder, maybe extending that right arm. Maybe adding a gentle nod of the head can intensify the stretch. Slowly rounding the head forward and over to the opposite side, right ear to right shoulder. Left arm extends. Adding any supplemental movement that you'd like, nodding the head no or yes, finding that sweet spot for you. Now allow the chin to drop to the chest, shaking the head no, slowly drawing your head back up, and that concludes our workout for the day.